writing your music for. If you're writing your music for the guy at the office, then Public Enemy is doing a bad job. But if they were doing their music for black people or for people who want to come to a better understanding on how things really are, then they did a good job. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to see the true picture. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if he feels uncomfortable. Because what about when I felt uncomfortable for 400 years? You know what I'm saying? Then now all of a sudden it's bad to talk about some real. Anytime somebody pulls a trigger or there's any kind of gunshot, everybody starts running for cover. But everybody's really doing all this shooting in the streets. You know what I'm saying? All this Iran-Contra stuff and that war, all that's violence to me. That's real violence. What we're talking about is fake violence. All this, what we're rapping, it happens in the streets, but us rapping about it is not the violence. And the movie about it is not the violence. You know what I'm saying? It's an adventure world that we are creating. Trying to get out, what we're doing is using our brain to get out of the ghetto any way we can. So we tell these stories, you know what I'm saying? And they tend to be violent because our world tends to be filled with violence. I would rather tell a young black male to educate his mind, arm yourself, and be free and defend yourself than, you know, just sit there and turn the other cheek. So whatever message that sends out, that's the kind of message it is.
No, but precisely in the film, sort of things degenerate when Bishop does arm himself.
But he didn't educate his mind.
That's true.
That was just violence. It had nothing to do with his brain. It had nothing to do. He used the wrong targets. That's absolutely wrong, and I know everybody's going to see that when they see the movie. He didn't do anything to help himself get out of his situation. And in fact, Q was closest to getting out of his situation. He used his mind. When you use your brain, it doesn't always have to come to a violent end, but sometimes it does, and that's all that I'm saying. That is a choice.
Yeah, I think
they give us
shows that it's definitely a choice.
They never show you that, you know, okay, the cop's beating on you. You have a choice. Violence to defend yourself, you know what I'm saying? Turn the other cheek or wait for the news cameras to come and talk about it.
Like Rodney King.
Like Rodney King. I'm talking about doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm really, it's happened to me. The police beat me up in the middle of the street for no reason, just simply because I cursed at them. Because they were harassing me and I cursed at them. Now they beat me up. Now, in reality, I couldn't shoot them like in my rhymes. I would say, you know what I'm saying, pow, pow, you know what I'm saying? It was a shootout, but I couldn't do that in reality. But in my rhymes, it vents that anger because I can, you know, fire back at the police and won't go to jail for life. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's just words.
Right. And my music, and a lot of this music, it's only talking about the oppressed rising up against the oppressor. That's all. That's what my music's about. The oppressed rising up against the oppressor. So if only people that's scared are the oppressors. The only people who could have any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that.
You mean?
I've seen guys speak to women with this much respect, and I deplore that. My mother is just totally, I grew up, my mother raised me, so I have this much respect for women, and I fight often because of that. And it gives me a lot of friends. I mean, I get a lot of friends, but I get a lot of friends because I have respect for women, ultra respect for women. But then, like I was liking this girl in Tam, and I'm extra nice, you know, extra gentleman. I'm extra just like, oh, you're beautiful and you deserve the best. And she told me I was too nice. I couldn't believe it. It wouldn't work because I was too nice. That was the ultimate stab in the back. So I went through a week of just going, forget it, I'm just gonna be like them. Because they seem to get the girls and they call girls the B word, you know, and they smack and beat and they're getting girls, and I'm going, peace and I think you're beautiful, and they're going, well, I like him because he's masculine. I'm masculine. I mean, and with the guys, and like yesterday he was cursing and I was like, don't curse, and he got mad at me because I told him not to curse. But my plan is that if I keep telling girls not to let them call you these names, and if I keep saying it, it's going to catch on. Because the girls won't allow them to be their boyfriend if they're going to speak to them like that. And they're going to want me. So in order to not get them to go with me, they're going to have to change, and that's how they change. So I'll be the scapegoat, no problem, as long as it changes. So, yeah, so I think it's going to work. I think it'll work out.